Thank you. Thank you for watching my Frankie teardrop video. I'm trying to make that little chihuahua more popular. He's a good little dog. Thanks, Garth. Thanks, Oregonian Hunger and TZ for your comments. I will relay them to the chihuahua on the morrow and see what he thinks. So, I read a zine. I'm going to talk about Posthuman number 8. So, like, I had the little box of zines. It's not that big, but you know, like most zines are half size. And I pulled this out. And I was like, where did I get this from? I mean, someone sent it to me, of course, but I don't know who. Because it's from 2015, I'm pretty sure. Thereabouts. And it's Hungarian. It's a Hungarian zine by this guy, David Kudry. And this is it says underground fanzine made with enthusiastic dilettantism. Metal grind, punk crust, whatever zine. Oh, 2016, January 2016. Reviews, articles, blah blah, fun bullshit, LOL, XD, alone. So this is 63 pages. And it just seems like it took me weeks to read this. I don't know actually how long it took me. But it just seemed like I would be reading it for like an hour and it'd be like 5 pages or even less than that. It's just, I don't know what it is. It was just kind of a chore to get through this one. I mean, it was interesting. And reading it, I was like, man, I don't know I've never heard of any of these bands. I mean, he's more, well, maybe like one. I'm trying to think of the one band that I've heard, but I can't even think of it. So it's basically, he even has a table of contents, but he'll do like a interview. Okay, he interviews this band called Six Score. Then some reviews. Another interview. He interviews Judas Crust, which is actually like a play on Judas Priest, because and they're like Malaysian, I think. I can't remember, but yeah, look at that text on that. It was a pretty interesting. His interviews are good. The Judas Crust, I looked him up on YouTube, and they're just, I don't know if you know what D-beat crustcore is, but old David really likes that type of music. And reading this, like, it's just funny, like, you know, there's death metal, black metal, thrash death, power metal, and it's just, there's so many subgenres, because, like, I know crust, I think. And then a band will be like, we play speed crust. Or like that Six Score, we play thrashcore. Or like, oh, there's another with crust. There's the D-beat crust. So, okay, he's got more reviews, and then the Judas Crust. More reviews. It's just like that layout. Then he reviews, and a lot of, I mean, he's Hungarian, so some of these are just, they're not even in English. The titles, the reviews are, like this zine, I have no idea. There's this one zine called Sangwatalk, that I would like to get. And he, well, I'll get to this in a second. And he reviews a artist who has a production company called Anvil Cult. He puts an ad for Reality Impaired Records. It's not the same address. And he interviews. There are two guys in Germany with large underground activity behind them. They have fanzines, label, common musical projects in different styles. So they are very active, creating noise madness around them. I wanted to interview them about all their projects one by one, but after a time I failed to categorize their projects into 2 or 3 separate interviews. So I decided to ask mixed questions from these noise maniacs about all their projects and publish it all at once. So in the following, you can get some detailed information about Madre Coca, Nameless Tomb, Devoured Christ, Temple Adoration fanzine, and Subtle Mystic Rituals Productions. I have the Devoured Christ demo from them, so I know that. So man, these two guys, they just do everything. They're just so enthusiastic. Here's the middle of the zine. And yeah, that's a long interview. And he'll just have an article like about how much he likes tapes. He has an interview with this band Sriba Boys. They're God damn it, they're Russian. Yeah, just so much stuff. He reviews this like a CD from this band called Wet Spinach, and I was like, oh, okay, that's gonna be like super fast punk, or that's what I thought it was. And I listened to it, and they sound badass. Like they sound like they'd be way more popular if people heard them. I don't know where they're from. Can't read it, but Wet Spinach. Check out Wet Spinach, guys. Then he interviews Kyliga Dahlin. Checked them out. I didn't really like the interview because it just seems like they're just joking around, and I just like read it as fast as I could. Let me just get through this. But again, they have that D-Beat Crust thing going. They sounded pretty good. I heard some stuff on YouTube. That's what's cool. Like, you read a review now, you can just check it out. Just more reviews. And this really is like politically, there's so much politics in here. Like, he even says, like, if he reviews some punk band, he's like, they're really not as political as they should be. I mean, whatever. Then he interviews this Betten Rot. It's acoustic punk that lives in, oh god, where does he live? I can't remember. I don't know. He talks a lot about squatting, and I mean, here in the U.S., squatting is really, I mean, squatters just seem to suck. So I mean, that's another political thing. And then finally, it ends with an interview with Agonize. They're Malaysian. Oh man, it was a pretty good interview. Oh man, I got a cough. Oh man. And I looked up their Bandcamp, and all their music's for free, pretty much. So that's cool. But they're really short songs, like maybe 2 minutes, but they're only like 30 seconds. So he reviews, like I said, he reviewed so much stuff, but he reviews a zine called Regressus Diaboli, and then I was looking through, I have another box of zines, and I have the issue he's talking about. I have issue 2. This one's even thicker than the Posthuman. And I've had this for a while, and it was just so, like, this is overwhelming, man. And I'm gonna read this. And this guy says, this asshole's name? Oh, Pito Mutilador. It took him 5 years to do this. And I was pulling out other zines I have. Crypts of Eternity zine. I actually stopped reading this because this one's overwhelming too, man. But this is a really nice zine. I don't know what that is. What do you call it? Embossed? I don't know. Man, these zines drive me crazy. So I'm gonna send this to my friend Stan. I think he really liked this, and his record label has an ad in here, so I think you should see it. I think he'll like it. But reading this brought up just so many different thoughts on music. I mean, this guy David, he's really into what he likes, which is like crust and the D-beat stuff. Damn dog. And there's so much. Like, I wouldn't know. Now that I've even read it, I wouldn't even know where to start. Maybe just Judas Crust. They're pretty good. There's a band Sunstroke. If they're Hungarian, they sounded pretty cool. And that Kailiga Dalin. But, I mean, I like death metal, and a lot of death metal sounds the same. All this crust sounds the same. You could just pick one band. In fact, you could just listen to Hellbastard. Just check out Hellbastard, and you'll hear what he's talking about. But this is really good. It was really good to read. I'm glad I read it. Just packed with info. So, yeah, I got a lot more zines to read, and got one I'm going to review already. I'll save it for tomorrow. So I'll put the posthuman zine at gmail.com. I'm going to email him, tell him I read it, and there's more zines. I don't know if I'm going to start this next, but we'll see. Okay, I'll see ya.